Alrighty, well this is John Costino saying thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have a presentation scheduled for you here with our MonyWize opportunity, and it goes roughly 45 minutes or so. I'm going to give you the outline so you know what to expect. The first 10 or so minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about the industry of network marketing and home-based business, because I like to put the cards on the table. So many people have been involved with this industry, or worse, just heard rumors and stories about it, and I'd like to kind of put all the cards on the table so people can understand exactly what we're doing. The second part of this program, we're going to talk about this revolutionary debt elimination software program that we're marketing and why it's so effective and powerful for everyone, including you. And then the third portion, we'll be talking about the opportunity with the MonyWize business, and that is the compensation available to you. Afterwards, we'll take a short minute or two break, and then we're going to do a little quick start training for those of you that want to know how to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, as promised, we're going to start off talking a little bit about the industry, and before I go into what the industry is and why, I might as well give you my background. I have been involved in the industry of network marketing, home-based business since 1991, so I've done this full-time for 3 decades. And I've held pretty much every possible position you could have. I started off as a brand new representative back in '91, and over the course of my career, made it to the top of multiple companies, became a top money earner. So I had success in the field as a field representative and a field leader. However, I noticed during that 10, 11, 12 years that there were some very, very real problems with the industry, inherent flaws in the models, and realized that I could not fix them from a field perspective. So I walked away from the field and became a consultant in the industry, where I consulted with dozens and dozens of companies, restructuring their marketing plans, their compensation plans, their training programs, and then even went on to hold corporate officer as VP of Sales and Training and minority ownership in multiple network marketing companies. So when I say I know this industry inside and out, I've looked at it from every possible point of view and perspective, and what I'm going to share with you right now is what I 100% know, not even think or believe, know are the 4 inherent flaws that cause people to struggle and fail in the industry of home-based business. And it's really important for you to understand this, because every company that I'm aware of, and I don't think there's a whole lot that I'm not aware of, has at least one, if not all 4 of these challenges that cause the average person to struggle, to fail, and eventually quit in their pursuit of a home-based business. And the statistics are staggering. 9 out of 10, and it's really 95, 96, 97 out of 100 people that join any company in the network marketing space fail to make their money back, fail to ever turn a profit. And those are numbers that are beyond description, they're beyond comprehension. And so I set out a while ago to fix that, and that's what we've done here with MonyWize. The first challenge that really kind of people face is that there is a complete lack of a financial benefit to the end customer, meaning when people join a network marketing company, they get excited about the opportunity, but then they hesitate to go out there and speak to their friends and family. They hesitate to take their product to the people that they have the closest relationship with and the people they care the most about. And here's why. Because at their core, deep down, they know this is not really a financially beneficial program for my friends and family, whether it's a service or whether it's a product. Even some of the finest nutritional products cause this problem because they're marked up 500, 600, 800, 1,000%, and the average person says, I can't ask my friends and family to pay that much money. So the challenge is, if you don't believe that the program or the product is good for your friends and family, you have a hard time wanting to go sell it to them. Now, here with MonyWize, we fixed that. In fact, for the very first time that I have in 30 years ever seen, and quite frankly, I think it's the first time in the history of the industry, we have a product, hear me carefully, a product that is good from a financial standpoint to your friends and family as customers, which means you don't have to go out there and get your friends and family to join the business to have a benefit, they can go out there as a customer, take our debt elimination software, and if they use it, meaning they can't just order it, they have to actually use it, we can guarantee it's going to save them money and leave them in a better financial position. Now, that's a powerful statement. It's a statement that I make with the product developer listening so that I'm not making this up. He created the software, he developed the program, and he validates the fact that if anybody has ridiculously, anybody has any amount of discretionary income and they follow the blueprint, they will receive savings and financial benefit. And that's a powerful statement because that means if you want to go out there and build a business, there's absolutely no reason for you to hesitate to talk to everybody you know and share this product with them. The second challenge is the fact that even if you love the product in most companies, there's no true financial benefit to you as a sales rep to go out there and focus on retail customers. Now, the challenge is in most companies, I won't say all, but most companies, the money is in the development of a large network. They disguise recruiting bonuses and things of that nature. But the bottom line is, if you say, I love the product and I want to focus on selling the product, it's not designed. They don't have the compensation built for you to make substantial money. Now, a lot of companies hide behind what's called the suggested retail price, where they'll tell you that you can buy the product for $25, but they suggest you sell it for $40. Well, here's the problem. Most people, I won't say everybody, but most people have a hard time taking advantage of friends and family. So if you know you bought it for $25 and you go out there and you start selling it to people that you know are struggling financially, you don't want to make that $15. You start to say to yourself, you know what, I paid $25, you can have it for $25. Well, that's not going to set you financially free. That's not going to benefit you with a retail profit. So the bottom line is, we're not going to force you to have that dilemma of, do you want to make money and take advantage of your friends by overpricing it, or do you want to just struggle along? So we built into our program a retail compensation so that you can go out there. You personally don't have to recruit people. You can focus on the retail sales of our software and make a significant income. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's the second challenge. We will give you the opportunity to make money even if it's only selling our product. The third challenge deals with what's called the high barrier to entry, which is just a fancy way of saying it costs too much money to join. Again, in this industry, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of opportunities to choose from. The challenge for most people is after watching the presentation, even if they love what they saw, even if it makes total sense, the response is, you know what, I can't afford to join. Or I'm afraid to take a risk because that's an awful lot of money. Or I don't know anybody that can afford to join. So the problem is, it doesn't matter how good the opportunity or good the product is. If it's too expensive, it will not have massive appeal to the majority of people. And that's the challenge. I've watched companies make up bogus fees, $200, $300, $99, $149, as much as $499 for nothing, just because they can. And the challenge with that is they overprice their opportunity away from the masses. Well, I'm very proud to say that here at MonyWize, you will get started in business for less than $50. And it's really important that you understand this because a lot of people have questioned, well, why do I have to pay the $50? Understand that you're starting a business. And for that $50, you're going to have websites and a back office support system that's covered for the entire year. Now, there are companies that will charge you outrageous fees to join and then still charge you monthly $20, $25, $30, $35, $45, $50 a month for their websites and their back office and all the stuff that they offer you to go out there and promote your business. Well, we're not doing that. You get started for $49.99. We're going to call it $50, and that covers your website and your back office and your marketing tools for the entire year. And you also get a full 30-day risk-free trial of our service. So even if we didn't throw in the service, $50 divided by 12 is less than $5 a month. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Where can you start a business, have a website and support materials and a back office for $5 a month? It doesn't exist. So we have made it affordable. You don't have to join our business, but you won't say no because you can't afford it. That's an extremely important message, because if you choose to go out there and build any network marketing or home-based business, it needs to have the ability for you to sit down with everybody, regardless of their financial position, and have the opportunity to share that business without them saying, I'd love to join, but I can't afford it. So we've solved that third challenge. And then the fourth challenge is the retention rate, or what we call the attrition rate. And the reason I bring this up is, again, in the industry of network marketing for the last 3 decades, on top of the fact that 95, 96, 97 out of every 100 people fail to break even and make a profit, here's part of the reason for that. 85% 85 out of every 100 people who say yes to a business opportunity end up quitting before their annual renewal, before their first 12 months are up. Now, you got to ask yourself, why would somebody who got excited and joined a business quit within the first couple of weeks, the first couple of months, or in their first year? And I'll help you with that answer. We talked a little bit about it earlier. They go out there, they talk to their friends and family, and their friends and family say, I don't want that product because it's too expensive. Or, I can't join your business because it's too expensive. But let me throw a third reason in there. Companies have what's called a monthly auto ship or qualification that you must maintain in order to be qualified to get paid. And for the majority of companies out there, they're selling you a case of their stuff, whether it's juice or shake or pills or potions or whatever. And on average, it's a base case for $147.50. We'll call it $150 a month. And they'll tell you that you don't have to buy it yourself, but that's what most people do. Now, is there anything illegal about that? No. But here's why it's wrong. If you're earning $37 or $43 or $56 a month, but you're paying $147.50 a month or more. I've seen it as high as $400 and $500 a month. If you're spending more than you're making, that's a bad business model. And it doesn't take long before you, or worse, your significant other or your spouse points out, hey, we're losing money every month. Now, you might do it a month or two, but after 2, 3, 4 months of losing money, you're going to say, this is not why I joined. This is not why I started this. And you're going to end up quitting. So 85 out of 100 people for the last 3 decades quit because of one reason. They're not making enough money to justify continuing. Well, we've fixed that as well, because with MonyWize, on top of the fact that you do not have any purchase requirement, even if you said, I want this product, I'm going to use this product, the cost is $29.99. $29.99 per month, and it has no long-term commitments, and there's no penalties for termination. So you literally have a break-even of $30 a month. That's why this program is so successful, because we've lowered the cost to join, and we've kept the monthly overhead so low that your break-even is very, very achievable. And now let's flip the coin. If you're making $43 a month, but it costs you $29.99, now does it sound like a good business decision to continue going forward, especially if your check is going up every month? Even if it just goes up $5 or $6 or $7, you're still profitable. So this is not rocket science. I've been doing this for a long time. We wanted to flip the lid on the industry and set up a business where the average person was in profit and continued to grow. That's what this program is all about. Our mission is threefold. Number 1, help you live a debt-free lifestyle. Number 2, help you to build wealth. And number 3, secure your future. And it sounds silly, but most people they don't even think about their future because they're trying to survive today. Now, people ask all the time, what's the first thing I should do? Well, it's real simple, and if you haven't done this yet, you need to do it immediately. Complete your own financial profile. Let's see what this software program can do for you. Because once you fill out your own financial profile, you'll have a blueprint for getting out of debt. You'll actually have, in black and white, a game plan and a blueprint to get you and your family out of debt. Now, this is the sad thing. I've been doing this for 3 decades, and I can remember when people, were afraid to admit they were having financial challenges. It's gotten so bad in this country over the last 10 years that I don't think anybody's afraid to say they're having financial trouble. I think they'd be afraid not to because everybody's dealing with it. Now, here's a couple of headlines from January and February of this year. So these are not old headlines. This is January 2016. Americans are still really worried about the economy. Well, just take a look at what's going on. I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative. Every single person is concerned about the economy. Here's February 2016. J.P. Morgan, U.S. economy becoming more vulnerable to a recession. Folks, this is not a recession. We've been in a depression for a while. They just won't say the words because they don't want people jumping out of windows. And then again, February 2016, recession fears rise as global headwinds impact U.S. economy. Now, let's talk about this for a second because I want to be just transparent and blunt. The product that we're about to talk about is not new. The product has been around for over a decade. It's a product that has been sold successfully for the last 10 plus years for as much as $3,500, $1,500, $2,500, $3,500 at real estate seminars, business expos. This is a product that has real value, a product that delivers savings to the average family. Now, how did we get it for a fraction of that cost? Because a very close friend of mine created this product. And while we've been friends for over a decade and I've watched his company grow, when I decided to start my own network marketing company and I reached out to him, he was in 100% agreement that this product would work as a monthly subscription for less than $30 to help every single person in America get out of debt. Now, I want you to think about this as we talk about these 3 examples, because I'm going to give you 2 examples of mortgage and a third of consumer debt. And we're going to show you how this program eliminates debt and puts people in a better financial position. But I want you to ask this question during the course of the next few minutes. If this program is $30 a month, times 12, that's $360 per year. If this product could save you $500 or $1,000, is it worth $360? What if it could save you a couple $1,000s a year? What if it could save you $10,000 a year? Is it worth $30 a month, $360 a year to have that kind of savings? And see, I'm just being blunt with you. If you don't get that math, you deserve to stay broke. And I know that sounds harsh, but so many people are in their own way because they don't understand everything. They say no. And my answer to that is, look, I get on an airplane and I really don't understand to this day how a plane gets off the ground. I understand the concept of lift, but you know what? I still don't understand how it works. I'm just glad that it does. Because when I fly to California or Texas or Utah, I'm grateful instead of having to drive across the country in a car, because I've done that plenty of times. So you don't have to understand everything in order to benefit from it. So just keep in mind, we're giving you a full 30-day money-back guarantee. You heard me correctly. You get to try this product out as a customer. Your friends and family get to try this product out as a customer, risk-free. If they're not 100% satisfied within their first 30 days, they let us know they want their money back. We give it back to them, no questions asked. Why are we so confident? Because of what I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you how effective this program is for the average family. Now, as I said, we're going to do a couple of mortgage examples, and then we're going to do a consumer debt for a family that can't even get a mortgage. $175,000 on a loan at 5.5% with 23 years left to pay off. Monthly payment, $1,150. Monthly income, $4,500. And then the expenses on top of their mortgage, about $1,300. Now, you put your name in, you put your email, you click submit, and watch this. They have a blueprint where we can show them that through our software, based on the numbers they put in, this family could be out of their mortgage in less than 5.5 years. So instead of 23 years, you're out of your mortgage in less than 5.5, and you're saving over $100,000. It's actually over $106,000. So here's my question. If this were you, would you have any interest in paying $30 a month, which is $360 a year, for the next 5.5, we'll call it 6 years, to save $106,000? Are you kidding me? That's how powerful this program is. Now, some of you are saying, it's not that big of a mortgage. Okay, here's another one. $450,000 mortgage, 5% interest, 30 years to pay it off. Monthly payment, $2,650. Monthly income, $6,500. Expenses on top of your mortgage, $2,500. Again, put your name in, put your email in, click submit. Now again, pay close attention to this. With the software, you could expect to pay off your mortgage in less than 14 years, so that's less than half the time, and save almost $245,000. So again, if you were offered a software for $30 a month that would cost you $360 a year, and you were going to use it for the next 15 years, 10 years at $360, it's $3,600. Another 5 years, well, let's just call it another $3,000, even though it's way less than that. So we're going to say, okay, it's going to cost between $6,000 and $7,000. Would you be interested if it meant you could save over $240,000? I know this sounds ridiculous, but that's how simple it is. Now, you might be wondering, well, how come I've never heard of this before? Well, do you think the bank wants you to know about this? The bank was going to collect that extra $240,000. The bank was going to collect that extra $106,000. They don't want you to know that. This program is designed by an individual who spent 30 years in the financial industry. Angelo Rodriguez, who created the software, has spent his adult life, his career, owning real estate companies, mortgage companies, helping families through loss mitigation and debt elimination. He knows all of the little tricks. So hear me carefully. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that there's a chance that the banks have little secrets that you and I don't know? That the credit card companies have little secrets that you and I don't know? That the mortgage companies, that the auto finance companies all take advantage of that you and I don't know? And the answer is yes. And that's why they make money on our money. Well, what would it be worth to you to have all of those little secrets, all of those little financial secrets that you and I never got taught, working for you instead of against you? That's what this software does. Now, let's talk about a family that cannot even afford to get a mortgage. They're buried underneath debt. Now, you look at these 5 consumer debts. They could be credit cards, they could be car loans, they could be student loans, but we're talking about a $25,000, a $15,000, a $10,000 consumer debt. Now you can do the math on that. That's $50,000. Then you got $7,500 and $5,000. So over $60,000 in debt. Monthly income, $4,000. So can we agree this is not somebody who's wealthy? And your expenses on top of those minimum payments are another $1,500. So here's a household. I want you just to think about this. Here's a household with an income of $4,000, debts and expenses in excess of $3,000, and they're buried underneath over $60,000 in debt. When do you think these people would expect to be out of debt? When do you think these people are going to say, wow, we're so glad we're out from underneath that debt? Because with this software, they would be out of debt in less than 2 years. less than 2 years. Folks, all I can say to you is this program is your GPS, your financial GPS out of debt, out of financial stress. And as you can see here on the screen, there's 12 different tutorials to help you navigate the website. It's a very, very automated and it's intuitive to work specifically with you and your program. Now, here's an example of the dashboard, because people always say, well, how does it work? How does it work? How does it work? This is an example of a family who had a $517,000 beginning debt, and they were originally going to have a 30-year mortgage. By using the software, as you can see, it'll get them out of debt in less than 13.5 years and save them almost $220,000. Now, watch this. If you look over to the right-hand side of the screen, they have an $8,500 income and over $8,000 going out. So I want you to think about this for a second. You got $517,000 in debt. You make $8,500 and you spend over $8,000 each month. So their discretionary income is a couple $100. When they fill out their financial profile, their financial analysis, it lists in all of their debts, all of their expenses, all of their incomes, and as you can see in the red here, it says, here's your recommended payment. You have $400 in discretionary income. We recommend you take $297.40 and you apply it to this account. Why? So that you can get out of debt faster. Because here's the beauty of it. By using this software, this family, instead of 30 years, is out of the mortgage in less than 13.5, saving almost $220,000. But here's the best part. What do you do for the other 16 years after you're out of debt? It teaches the individual family what to do with that money that no longer is going towards a mortgage. And as you can see here, this is called a debt elimination wealth acceleration program, because once you've knocked the debt out, it teaches you how to be smart with your money. Now, how would you love at the end of 30 years, instead of paying off your mortgage like the bank wanted you to do, you paid off the mortgage in half the time, and then you began to accumulate a savings profile so that your savings, your retirement plan, now has over $2 million. You not only own your home outright, but you've got a retirement plan in excess of $2 million. For those of you that prefer a pie chart instead of a bar graph, the green represents your income, the red represents your debts and expenses, and the blue little sliver there, that's your discretionary income. Now, again, I think that we've done an excellent job of illustrating how powerful this product is. Hopefully, I've done a good enough job of explaining how it is risk-free, that you can go out there and you can sit down with your family and friends. You don't have to beg them. You don't have to sell them. You can simply say, hey, look at what this software is doing for me and my family. Take a free test drive and let's see what it'll do for you. And if it comes down to using math, making a business decision, I think all of you would agree that your friends and family would see the value and say yes in spending $30 a month, $360 a year, if it would deliver a $500, a $600, an $800, $1,000 or more savings per year. That's how beautiful this program is. Now, why did I harp on all that? Because we're going to talk about the business opportunity, but I don't want you joining the business and sitting around. I want you joining the business and getting excited to go out there and tell everybody about this, because you've never, I repeat, never in the home-based business industry had the opportunity to go out there and guarantee savings to your friends and family. That's why this program is so special. Now, I talked about it earlier. We have created a retail compensation within our network marketing model. So if you said, I don't know if I want to build a business, I don't know if I want to recruit anybody, but I want to go take that software platform and sell the heck out of it, watch this. Cost you $50 to get started in the business. You go out there and sell the product as a direct salesperson, check these numbers out. let's use a really conservative example and say that you decided that you were going to get 10 retail customers a month for 1 year, and then you were going to quit. We will pay you $10 for each active customer that you personally enroll, and then we will pay you a $5 per customer per month residual for the life of that retail customer account. Now, if you got 10 customers a month for a year, you'd earn $1,200 in bonuses. And at the end of a year, your residual would grow month over month over month over month, but at the end of the year, that would be a $600 per month residual income. I want you to think about that for a second. So people say, oh, you know what, that's not a lot of money. That would put you in the top 1, 2, 3% of money earners in the history of this industry. And you didn't recruit a single person. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to go out there and get 10 a month. Get as many as you want. But what I want you to understand is that for the first time, you can go out there and actually make a healthy income. Earn a small fortune even if you focused only on retail customers. But see, that's only part of our program. For those of you that are here saying, John, we get it, but we want to build a business, I want you to take a good hard look at that, because what we've put together is the most lucrative compensation plan in the industry of home-based business. And I know you hear my voice, and I know you hear the authoritative sound of it. That's because I am a compensation plan specialist, and I didn't do this by accident. I know the industry inside and out. I know what the other companies are paying, and I know the games that they're playing. And I put this together for 2 reasons. Number 1, so that you, if you choose to join us, make as much money as humanly possible for your efforts. And number 2, because quite frankly, when it's all said and done, I don't want innocent people falling victim to the scams out there anymore. So I want the highest top money earners in the industry coming out of this company, and the only way to do that was to create a compensation plan that beat everybody else. Now, you may or may not understand this, but hopefully you're jotting these numbers down, because I want you to understand something. You get started with us. This is the simplest qualification in the industry. You become an associate with MonyWize, and you go out there and find a minimum of 3 retail customers and personally enroll those customers. And you are fully qualified for all 9 levels. All 9 levels regardless of the structure. Now, you may or may not understand the importance of that, but I will tell you simply right now, feel free to go do your own hypothetical examples. I wish that I could do one for you, but our compensation is so lucrative that they have said to me it would be illegal for me to show it to you because it would unfairly entice you to join. But I'm confident that you can do your own math. I've left the screen up here long enough for you to jot down the numbers. But in addition to the associates that enroll in your organization, when they go out there and acquire personal retail customers, you're going to get paid on them as well. If you remember, we're paying out $5 to the associate who acquires the retail customer, but we're also paying out, even though we're giving them $5 a month, we're paying out another $4.50. So you're going to get 50 cents per customer through 9 levels. Now, you can look at this screen here. Take a good hard look. We are paying out as much as $11 residually. If you don't understand all the numbers, don't worry about it. I'm recording this. I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more. We are paying out the highest percentage in the industry. If you'd like to do the math on it, our customers are paying $29.99. Let's call it $30 a month. If we're paying out $11 on that $30, it's 37%. That's more money than any program out there on a residual basis. When a new retail customer is acquired and they become an active customer, we're paying out up to 43%. So I want you to write those numbers down. Up to 43%, up to 37%. They don't exist. That's not funny money. That's not where I'm saying, oh, well, we're going to give you 50% BV on the $30 and then give you the percent. No, this is real, honest-to-God math. Why do I sound like this? Because I need you to understand, if you're going to do any type of a home-based business, you're crazy to invest 1 minute anywhere else because you can't get paid nearly as much as we're going to pay you. Now, I get that a lot of companies have the shiny object. They put the shiny object out there for people to follow. Here's your bonus. Here's your Jeep. Here's your car. Here's your trip. Here's your whatever. Well, understand, I'm not stupid. I've been doing this full-time for 30 years. I have a shiny object for you as well. I just didn't want to take away from the residuals, because that's why every one of us joins the industry. We join the industry because we want to earn money after we're done working. We want to earn that residual income, be able to take our foot off the gas pedal after we've done our work and keep getting paid. That's why we pay out so much on the residual side. But check out these bonuses. These are the rank advancement bonuses. Now, you have the opportunity. There's no requirement. We're not forcing you to do this, but you have the opportunity to earn $5,550 in your first 4 months. Here's the breakdown. The two qualifications are you must have 3 personal retail customers, and 50% of the accounts within your organization must be retail customers. That means for every associate, make sure there's at least 1 retail customer. Now, in your first 30 days, personally enroll 5. That could be 5 retail customers. It could be 3 retail customers and 2 associates. We don't care, but have a minimum of 5, and you get a $50 bonus. Second promotion is manager. Within 60 days, develop 3 teams with a minimum of 10 accounts for $500. That means for as little as 30 accounts, you could make $500. That's insane. That's why I don't include it in the percentages that I talk about, because it would blow the percentages out of the stratosphere. You wouldn't believe them. But that's $500 for as little as 30 accounts. Also within 60 days, if you can take those 3 teams to 25 or more accounts each, another $500. So that means within your first 60 days, for as little as 75 accounts, you could have earned $1,000. Unheard of, and there's no company that compares. But let's talk about senior director. In your first 90 days, develop 5 teams with a minimum of 25 accounts and earn a $1,500 bonus. That means for as little as 125 accounts, you could earn $2,500 in your first 90 days. And then finally, regional director, develop those 5 teams to a minimum of 100 accounts each in your first 120 days and earn an additional $3,000. Those are cumulative, which means that in 4 months, for as little as 500 accounts, you could have earned $5,550. Do the math on that, folks, and tell me that that is not an insane payout. Why? Because I'm not kidding when I tell you, I want the top money earners in the industry coming out of this company. That's enough money for someone getting started with us to say this was worth doing. Because what did it cost you? It cost you $50 to join, and then $30 in month 2, $30 in month 3, $30 in month 4. That's 50 plus 90, $140. If it cost you $140 to get started and maintain your business, and you went out there and fulfilled these requirements, would you agree that's a pretty good return for your efforts out there? Your efforts for 4 months turn into a $5,550 bonus? That's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm saying you need to understand what we're offering before you even think about doing anything else. Now, I have put together a program that most people still don't even grasp, but it's called an infinity-coded program. You don't have to worry. I'm going to put this chart up here for a few seconds as I talk, but I want you to understand something. All companies talk about infinity pay. They all talk about getting paid through infinity, but it's a mirage. It's fool's gold. True infinity means does not end, you never get cut out. You have the opportunity with MonyWize to earn up to 75 cents per customer through true infinity, no matter how deep and no matter how many leaders you have in your group. Now, Let me just give you one example of how this works. It's called enroller placement. There are two requirements, two events that must occur for you to begin to develop your Infinity code. The first event is you must earn the promotion, fulfill the requirements of regional director. If you notice, it's the middle of our marketing plan, not the top, the middle. It's the middle on purpose because I want you to earn it. I want you to develop it. I want you to benefit from it. I didn't put it at the top of the program like all the other companies so that you can look at it and 8 people out of 250,000 ever make it. I want all of you to earn regional director. Here's why. You never get cut out of it. Now, 5 teams of 100 accounts, and you are a qualified regional director. That is the first event or the first requirement. Here's the second. Personally enroll a new associate. Personally enroll a new associate. Now, you can place that associate anywhere in your organization. Second level, third level, doesn't matter. But that associate, and by the way, you can recruit as many as you want, but you only need to recruit one. That new associate begins your regional director code, and you will pick up an additional 25 cents based upon whatever level you place them. So if it's on your second or your third level, it's 50 cents plus 25, and you can do the math all the way down. But when this group goes past your 9th level, it's 25 cents per customer per month, regardless of your 10th, 11th, 12th, your 50th, your 75th, your 700th. It doesn't matter. Now, as you're building your regional director code, you want other people to earn regional director because they don't cut you out. When they hit regional director, as you can see here with this blue rectangle, in order for them to hit regional director, they have to leave at least 500 accounts behind. Now, when they leave 500 accounts behind, that's all your regional director code. So even if it grows from 500 to 5,000 to 50,000 accounts, you're still getting that regional director code through Infinity. There is an unlimited, there is no limits, unlimited number of people that can break regional director in this regional director group without ever cutting you out. I'm showing you an example with 5, but it could be 15, it could be 55, it doesn't matter. Here's what happens. When you break a new regional director and they want to build their regional director code, you see that gray circle there? That means they go out there and sponsor a new person, and when they place that person into their group, you pick up regional director 2 coding, which is identical to regional director 1. So now you not only get paid through Infinity on your coded group, you're going to get paid through Infinity on their coded group. And again, as I said, there is no end to it. We also pay, again, one-time merit bonuses each time an associate account or a retail customer account goes active. As you can see here, we talked about this in the beginning. If you go out there and sign up personal retail customers, you earn a $10 one-time bonus. If you personally enroll an associate and that account goes active, you earn a one-time $5 bonus. But there are also overrides at the senior director, regional director, national and international director to where we're paying out as much as $13 on a retail customer and as much as $16 on an associate account. Now, at this stage of the game, folks, I think we've done a phenomenal job of exposing the industry of network marketing, where it's flawed and how we've fixed it. We've done a phenomenal job of explaining our revolutionary product, how effective this product has been for over a decade, being sold for $3,500, but you have access to it for less than $30 a month. Now, if that is not enough to get your attention and you're thinking about the business opportunity, I want you to think long and hard. Where can you start a business and then run it for the entire year for less than $50? Where can you start a business and have a monthly qualification that's less than 3 personal customers, or a personal volume requirement that's less than $30? It doesn't exist in the industry. Where can you get started and earn $5,500 in your first 4 months based on a $30 a month product. See, we didn't mark everything up and overcharge and overprice. We put together a program that, quite honestly, this is what my goal is. In the industry of network marketing, companies see the same leaders and the same reps jump from company to company every couple of years, still searching for a home, chasing fool's gold, chasing the shiny object. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why people move every couple of years. Well, I put together a program that if you end up joining us, you'll never need to go anywhere else. But hear me carefully. I didn't build the business for you. I built the business for the other 90% that have never wanted to join network marketing. The other 90% who have looked at the industry and justifiably so said, that's a scam, that's not a good idea, I don't want to be a part of it. Because you know what? I've seen enough opportunities where I have to say they're right. But see, when those people do the evaluation of what we're doing, and they take a good hard look at our product, our cost to get started in business, and our monthly qualifications, they're going to say, wait a minute, this is different. This has value. This is going to save my family money. I want to share this with other people. So hear me carefully. This business and this company were built to bring the other 90% that can't stand network marketing in. And for those of you listening to my voice, what would that be worth to you? What would it be worth to you with your experience, your success, your skill set to be a part of a company that was attracting the other 90% who said no to everything else out there? This is John Costino. I want to thank you all very much for listening to this presentation. At this point, I'm going to pause for a minute and give you the chance to decide. Some of you are looking at this saying thanks but no thanks. Some of you are looking at this saying I've got some questions, and some of you are looking at this saying, dude, you could have shut up a long time ago. This makes sense. I'm in. And all I'm going to ask you to do is get back to the person that invited you to watch this and let them know whether it's thanks but no thanks, I have some questions I need answered, or I'm ready to get started. Let's go do my financial profile. Let's get my analysis done so I can show people how powerful this product is for me and my family. And if you have some questions, I'm going to urge you to stick around because I'm going to pause for 30 seconds. I'm going to shut the recording off, and then we're going to go right ahead and talk about how you can start your business and be in profit within 30 days, within that first month. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to end this recording right now.